Yeah, it's Tom. Well, we're inside here because I had some thoughts running through my head, and just figured we'd have a talk about it. I've been at what we do here for years, okay? About 47 years on a serious basis. Now, I've been all over the world, and a few things dawned on me sitting here watching a couple different episodes of survival shows. And I watch them, and they are funny at times, but even Bear Grylls, you can deem a certain amount of knowledge, whether it be negative knowledge or good knowledge. Negative knowledge being, hey, don't do that. Good knowledge is, wow, see what he just did? If I did it this way. So everything you watch or see, even Walking Dead, for as funny as I thought the show was, you can deem little pieces of knowledge out of it. With that being said, and everything that we do, I was thinking a guy's out in the woods, he's carrying a 25-pound pack, an axe, a saw, a knife, gun, and he gets hurt. Now he's got a 4-inch Mora on him, 4 to 5-inch bushcraft knife, let's just say, because he's got a Silky or a Laplander, or he's got his Halsford Brook or whatever axe he has with him. Now, you're lost and you're hurt. If you're hurt, you don't want to carry that much weight. Possibly you're not able to carry that much weight. It got me thinking. The Bushmen of the Kalahari and other places, Native American Indians, the indigenous people, Otzi, whatever you want to call them, they traveled very light. Now, granted, Otzi had a small, maybe 3-4 inch blade flint knife and a copper axe or brass axe. I think it was copper. But he had everything he needed. Now, most African tribes that I've read about, heard about, they carry a larger bladed, like a 10 to 15-inch bladed machete that they use for everything. It becomes their knife or whatever. Not really that much to cook over. They roast, they cook on rocks, they were cooking spits, holes, stuff like that. Not really pots and stuff like that. They carry a weapon generally, like spears or a bow and a spear and a knife. They carry mostly self-defense and killing and hunting material. Where we hear bushcrafters, people that's running around in the bush, carry more shelter building stuff than we do killing stuff. Defensive weapons. Which is really funny because you got to stop and think. We have apex predators, but not like they do in some places. And yet, there are some places in the United States that have grizzly bear, black bear, brown bear, moose, 3-4 different types of cats. It's a dangerous place. And yet we're still carrying a 4-inch bushcraft blade and an axe. And it just got me thinking how diversely screwed up this is. The guy goes out in the woods, he's running through the woods, he's carrying a 4-inch knife, a buckle lap ladder, and a big axe, or even a forest axe. And that's a whole lot of weight. You got about a 6-pound axe. The pound, the saw isn't that much, knife isn't that much, but you got about 8 pounds of equipment. Or them people carry a bigger knife, weighs about a pound and a half, that covers everything they do. That got me thinking. And it's been something that played on my mind for a long time as far as, do I carry, a hunting knife with me? Do I carry a full tang hunting knife? Do I carry a bowie? What do I carry? What do you carry? There's no one tool option. We all know that. But there is a jack of all trades. That jack of all trades, as far as knives are concerned, I honestly believe would be about a 12-inch, 10 to 12-inch bowie knife. It would give you enough momentum to chop trees, chop firewood, still be wieldy for defense. Years ago, we had an Ontario survival bowie. It was on a 12-inch blade, 17-inch overall. It's a bigger blade, yeah, but there was all different kind of handholds and different ways of sharpening that blade to do different things, like this far off the tip, about that far off the tip. You kept that dull because it really didn't do much. That's where that big belly is, and you use that for digging. And I've actually seen people cook on it. Ruined the blade, but I've seen it done. And then different sections of the blades in 5-6 inch pieces was sharpened differently. Some was really, like, down towards the handle, really super sharp. The middle of the blade was good and sharp. The end of the blade was dull because of the different areas you used. And a few guys that I know that still carry these big blades use them proficiently. And I mean to the point of, I've seen guys skin deer with a 12-inch bladed knife. And they knew exactly how to sharpen that knife for the intended purpose. Like that big belly in front, the night before, they'd sharpen that up, like hone it sharp, to where tomorrow when I get a deer, this is the 4 inches of that blade, I'm holding it with a side grip, and this is what I'm using it for. It was amazing. And one guy does carry a good-sized pocket knife that does all of his work except for what that machete is supposed to do, is cut and chop and whatnot. So it was just a thought that ran through my head, if we start thinking about the way the indigenous people, say from Otzi on through, start thinking about the way they lived, we start mimicking that, we'd live just as good as they did. Take the American Indian. They carried a knife, a tomahawk, whether it be stone or steel, a bow, and usually a spear. And they usually had a sack of some kind with, different fire starting elements, stuff like that in it. Basically, Otzi. So you're talking a man that's 5 million years old versus a culture that is, say, 498 million years later. Basically the same equipment. Now, if it survived through all the millennia, to help the human race live, why did it change? Really, I mean, why did it change? If it worked for millions of years, why did it have to change? Why did it stop working? It didn't. We did. We stopped working with the primitive. We stopped working with nature. And, I probably have more videos out about this because this is stuff I think about. It's, what is it, 1 o'clock in the morning, I think. Hang on a second. No, it's 12 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock a.m. And, I haven't slept for 36 hours, and I'm just kind of sitting here letting my mind wander watching these shows. Amazing, isn't it? How 5 million years ago, the band they found it buried in an ice grave, whatever you want to call it, carried basically the same equipment that semi-modern indigenous people carry, because they learned how to live on the land. Isn't that what we're supposed to be learning? Aren't we supposed to be learning how to live with nature, from nature, rather than from our backpacks? Which goes right back to a very wise old gentleman, the godfather, grandfather of bushcrafting and outdoor skills, Mr. Kahansky. The more you know, the less you carry. Just my thoughts. So, hey, this is Tom, and thank you for your time and your patience. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. I don't monetize, but hey, it's always nice to know people like what they're watching. Leave some comments, please. I love comments. Don't forget to share the video out, and we will see you guys. Where you at? There you are. You guys on the next one.